Okay, friends, subscribers, and all you YouTubers out there, what you're currently looking at and listening to is a video of a crater, of a crash, a sinkhole. We don't know. Okay, the cameraman knows what it was. There is someone out there that knows whether this was a crash or whatever. So I decided to have a good hard look at it. Now, when you look at it, it looks like there's buildings up against it and things like that, but it does look like there is a small type of crater. Are they building and testing something? Is this a secret town somewhere in the world that's been built specifically for this thing? Because look at the fact that there's no damage to this tiny little town. So you tell me, what's going on here? So I kept on looking at the footage and there was something about it. I kept on looking at it and I said, that looks like a craft. And so I just kept on going and I'm thinking, no, is it a hole? But it's generating so much light that the light is, it's not just smoke going up, it's actually light going up. It is so bright that it's sending light, because you can actually see that light in the reflection of the camera as well, but it's also generating upwards. So I just kept on looking at it and I'm thinking, there's structure to this thing. And I'm looking at the buildings and the farmland around it. There's a building so perfect beside the so-called crater next to it that's in perfect shape. Okay, so then we've got the only logical explanation. It's got something to do with UFOs or something. They're building something, they're testing something. Okay, so what did I do? I went in, grabbed the cam studio, and I got the After Effects, and I blew the image up and I recorded it for you, and here's the result. So when you're looking at it, it does look like there's something in there. There's a definite shape to this thing. You can see through the hole where there's black. So doesn't look like something that has crashed. It looks like something that is basically, this has either been built, has come up from the ground. It is something that maybe lands there on a regular basis. And this town wholly, truly supports this. Now, like you see it in the movies, okay, the weird little town where people sort of push you out of the town as quickly as possible. Or this could be built somewhere where people don't normally go, and they've built the town and no one gets to go to this town. This could be a Russian, I don't know. I truly don't know where this footage come from. I just found it on the net one day. And I just kept on examining it, because the more I look at it, this looks like a damn well spacecraft. And it really, truly does. It's got shape to it. It's not like it's a round meteor, or there's a definite like triangle section and there's something that comes off the back of it. And to me that's saying, that's a bloody spacecraft. Is it hot because it's just come in for a landing? What? But as I said, but it's the lack of damage is what gets me. The lack of damage. Okay, that could be dirt pushed up, but now the basic physics of it says if there's going to kick up that much dirt, it's going to damage something. It's going to have off throws off it. But look at the building underneath it. That's perfect. And that thing shows structure. The rear of it shows there's like a structure at the rear of it. That looks like there's something there. I've gone in and I've done the best I can for you. Okay? I'm not very well versed with After Effects. I just use After Effects to blow stuff up and to get a better look at what's actually in a video rather than just take snapshots and blow it up. At least this way I'm getting the original video that I've got at the best quality from the net, and I can actually have a look at it. I use Photoshop to blow stuff up to examine it and take snapshots of it, but with this one, I want to just stick with the After Effects, have a look at the After Effects, see, because you can control it, you can move stuff around. Like here, it's jumped out of screen, so I've just got to move it back to where it was. And yeah, so, but it's too bright to be a fire. There's not enough smoke coming from it. If that was a fire, there would be a massive amount of smoke. Yet the smoke, when you watch the video at the end, you'll notice that the smoke coming off it is not smoke, it's heat. Heat, not smoke. And there's other parts of this thing that are behind it that look like they're connected to this thing. Are we building something? Has someone in the world actually come up with a way that we might be able to travel out of the universe? Or has someone come up with some kind of invention? I'm an inventor myself. I've got my own invention. I've even got a patent. So the thing is, you've got to turn around and say, okay, if it's not any of those, what's the next logical solution? To me, the next logical solution is that it's not an impact crater. There's not enough damage to the building that's right there. That's right on the cusp. The concussion alone would have knocked that building off its foundations and would have damaged it beyond repair. It's too close. That building has been built there. The housing is away from it, has been built away from whatever this is. So, and look at it. It's not smoke, it's not fire. It's what is rising from it is heat. And you're seeing the heat bands rising from it. And it definitely looks like it's a craft. It doesn't look like anything else. It looks like when you're looking at little bits of it, you can see as it's moving around, you can see a different part of it there. There's a different part of it there. There's something at the back, definitely, but you can see through a hole to a cooler section. So, what is it? Someone out there in that town could tell you in 5 seconds what it is. But I guarantee you, no one's going to come forward and tell you what it was. They'll say, oh, it was an impact crater. Okay, well, how come we can't go back in there now and have a look at it? How come we haven't heard about this except for this footage? Everybody out there, this is a mystery footage. No one really knows what this is. There has been no solid explanation as to what this is. It's not out of a film. It is footage out of something. And it just magically appeared on the net one day. Someone just posted it, said impact crater was the explanation. As you can see here, I'm going in, I'm having a good examine of it. But I'm seeing things here. I'm seeing structure. Definite structure. So, like an impact crater, there would be an inroad to it. There would be something flying through it. If it was a force down, something that large would create a giant crater. That, whatever it is still intact. And it looks like it's intact. Yet, why has the mainstream news never, ever said anything about this? So, the fact that the mainstream media has kept this one quiet, if that was a media impact filmed by a media person, this would be #1 top news. We'd never hear the end of this one because it's so large. Whatever's in that crater is large. But there's buildings built around it. There's like a town away from it. Is it like, hey, here's another one. Have aliens landed, built a little town, keep everybody out. They've bought up all the land, built themselves a little place to land their ship. That could be the ship they see all over Germany. It looks bright enough to be the ship that's all over Germany. It does look like a spaceship. It really looks like a spaceship. I'm sitting here bewildered when I was making this for you. It's sort of, I'm looking at it, I'm saying, God almighty, there's a bit there, there's something else there. That could be the dome of the saucer. That could be the back of the saucer. That could be the tail fin or the engine section at the rear. I'm talking about the right-hand side, by the way, folks. The right-hand side could be the engine, the propulsion. The front of it is where it's more angular, yet there's still that domey shape to it. There's a bit of an eggy shape to it when you look at it another direction. Yet the buildings at the back, and they are buildings, they look like they're attached to whatever it is, like it's an airport terminal. So seriously, have aliens just popped in, integrated? Well, we've already been told. Well, the Russian president recently said we would be astounded if we knew how many aliens were truly amongst us. We would be astounded. That's what he said in that off-mic thing. He was unaware that the mic was still going. And he turned around and said to the reporters that we would be astounded if we truly knew how many lived amongst us. Is this their spaceport? Because it's certainly not a meteor. If that was a meteor, the damage, the physics clearly state something that size would create a crater about 10 times the size of it. There would be an inroad into there. You would see, if it came in on a steeper, like a angle, there would be the track where it comes in. You'd see the slide marks leading into it. It's not. It's a circular crater. It looks like it's been built. It actually looks like a wall around it, not a crater. To me, that looks like a wall because you can see the trees have grown up the side of it. This says this is manufactured. This is not. This is not an impact crater. I have been studying this one for a good 3 months. And nothing I can come up with. I have not been able to find any information on the net except for the video itself where it says impact crater. And then it's just either a video or a snapshot of it. That's all I found. It's just a video and a snapshot. It says impact crater. You type impact craters. I basically found it by typing impact craters, and I put it up on my other channel, and basically it's sort of been there for a while, but the more I watched this, the more I saw it, the more I could see physical structure to whatever is in this thing. The colour scheme is not of something that is burning. It is something that is bright, hot, and I mean hot, heat-wise, white hot. Well, it's white hot, yellow hot. That is the colour that things go at the point just before they melt. Well, steel, okay, just before steel melts, steel goes that colour. It goes white, then it melts. It goes orange, bright orange, but that's the yellow stage. It's a white hot stage. So whatever it is, it's creating a tremendous amount of heat that you do see. When you watch the video at the end of it, you'll see the heat just pouring off it. But look at it. That looks structural. It looks like it's actually a V at the back. That actually looks like an import. I'd say that little dark spot in the section is where they fly in and go into their ship or whatever it is. And I truly believe that this, and I'm going to say it, I think it's a spaceport, folks. I actually think we have a spaceport on our planet, and it's being used very regularly because it even has buildings similar to how we have it at airports that go into the object, actually touch the object, so where they're coming in and going out. They've set up this in a town somewhere in whatever country it is, and I'm still trying to track down the country. So anybody knows where this was, anybody can tell me where I can get more information, more video footage of it. If anybody has more video footage, please send it to me for analysis, or send it to New South Wales UFO hotline. I'll get it that way. But you can just simply text it to me, email it to me. I don't care. Send me as much information as you can. Okay, because this one is really interesting. I believe this is going to be one of the biggest stories ever when we finally uncover it. Thanks. So as I said, here's the real footage. Look at it. And just looking at that, you can clearly see what I'm talking about. There's structure to this. What's coming off it is not smoke. What's coming off it is heat. Heat and light. It's so bright that it's causing a ring on that camera lens. That is generating a hell of amount of light. Is someone working on cold fusion? Someone working on fusion? Has someone perfected fusion? Is it a spaceport? Look at the buildings behind it. They're going to it. It looks like a wall protecting the town. There's no inroads. There's no crash, like grinding into it, whatever. Is it a spacecraft? And that's just the engine of the spacecraft. What we're seeing on the ground, is that spacecraft where the wall? Is that a spacecraft? Okay, you've got to open your minds, folks, and you've got to look at this, because I truly think we're actually got something very, very real here. And I mean this. It's sort of, I don't often sit back and say it, but I just uploaded the impact crater and just let it go just with the normal sound, one revolution in the original video on the other channel. But the more I watched it, and this one actually really truly intrigued me, as I said. What have we got here? We've got something that is generating heat, something that's being protected. Someone has flown past this and filmed it, or someone knew about this, or whatever. Is this somewhere hidden in it? Is this that so-called land in the middle of Antarctica? We don't know. No one can tell me what this country is. You know that country, you know that town. For God's sake, tell me where it is. I'll update the video and I'll put a new one out. But whatever is in that thing, that's a spaceship, and that's a spaceport. This town is designed for nothing but a spaceport. Thanks very much, folks, and I'll see you in the next vid. Bye.